Hello everyone, welcome to Untitled Tech. Today I'm here to do a short tutorial on some of the basics of Solidworks. I'm hoping to make this into a series, just explaining things that I would have personally loved to see when I was beginning in Solidworks, just kind of learning things on my own. I didn't even take a class for it, but these are some things that if you're getting into even 3D modeling in general, you might want to know, just specifically for SolidWorks though. So for those who are starting in SolidWorks, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a good understanding of the different planes that you can use and how you can use these planes. So for example, the front plane, the top plane, and the right plane. Everything that you do will be based within these planes and several others. You don't need to worry about the others for right now. You just want to focus on these 3 planes. In order to make a sketch on these planes, you need to just right-click and click on New Sketch. It'll automatically normal to for you. Normal to means to align with the face, and then you can begin sketching. Underneath the sketch toolbar, you can see all of your sketch tools right here. They're pretty easy, and we'll go over all of them in a different video. For now, we're just going to use some of the most basic sketch tools to create some very basic shapes. We're going to use the line tool to start out, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use the line tool. It's a very easy and simply powerful tool. So if you just click down, it'll snap vertically. It will also snap horizontally, and depending on the sketch that you have, it can also snap to different locations or different angles. So I'm going to snap vertically here, and then I'm going to go at an angle right here, and then right here. Come back. Another shape that I'm going to want to do, though, is an arc. So there are 2 ways to go around this. You can either go and do the arc tool, and then create an arc going down. I want to create an arc going about here. Or you can go back, and I'm just going to delete these 2 for right now. You can go back to your line tool, and when you're drawing, go out and then come back in on the point. If you hold in on the point, when you pull off, you'll have a tangent line that you can mess around with. So this is a really cool feature when you're working with sketching some stuff from pictures probably, or maybe just some other things. So we're going to put this down right here. Another cool tip is when you have something equipped and you want to get out of it, you can just right click and hit select, and that will work brilliantly. We can go back to the line, and we can complete our sketch. Once your sketch is completed, it'll show up in a black box, like this. Well, not black, but like a gray box. That's how you'll be able to tell if the sketch is complete. You can also add some other things inside of it, and every time you make a different type of sketch in it, it will be a different and darker color, just so that you can identify which is which. Darker colors mean layers within layers. So this has been a simple explanation of some of the basics as well. I'll show you as well later how to use features like Extrude. It's a pretty simple tool to use, but as you can see, sometimes you might want to extrude this entire thing and it'll only select pieces like this. It's easy to go around. I won't get over that in some of the later videos. I'm going to quickly cover some of the other tools used in the line section before we end the video real quick. I'm going to normal to the face of this. And let's say, for example, I want to make a line through the center of this. But I don't want it to be an actual line. Like, I don't want it to have any effect on the geometry or whatever. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to build a construction line. The construction line is going to go wherever you want it to go. And the main difference with this is that it's not going to have the same effect as a regular line. For example, if I'm going to build a box out of regular lines, it's not a good box, but it's a box nonetheless. As you can see, the box turns a light shade of blue, it just turns a darker hue, and then becomes a little entity that we can mess with. Construction lines won't do anything of the sort. They will become just lines. They're reference points, basically. So for example, right here, if I was wanting to make a different shape inside of here, out of lines, what I could do is use this construction geometry so it can help me identify the midpoint. Let's say I want to draw a line from the midpoint. There's actually a midpoint line which will start a line directly on the midpoint and be able to help you pull out like that. It's a really cool way of maybe spicing up your sketches so you can maybe save a couple of clicks here and there. I've found myself using construction geometry more often than not, to be honest. It's something that is incredibly necessary, and if you spend just a little bit of your time going out of your way to make construction geometry in your sketches, it will pay off, and I promise that's going to work really well. The one last thing before the video ends, I promise this is the one last thing, go over a regular line, and let's say, oh, I don't like this line, I want this to become construction. All you need to do is go over the line and right click. You're going to hover over this, which has construction geometry, click it, and it will turn your line into construction geometry. You can snap to it the same as a regular line, and it will show midpoints as well. Only that, in the end, it won't matter as much as regular lines will. Alright, I hope this tutorial helped you understand more about the line feature. Next time we're going to be going over most of the other tools. This was a basic introduction to sketching, and then we'll get a little bit more in depth into sketching in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.